Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as what you see here, this article is from CNN.com, and it reads, Farmageddon. Many U.S. farmers are warning they are at a breaking point. So what does this mean? As the scripture says here in the book of, I'll just start here. Out of the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. This is Matthew 24 and 7. And it reads, matter of fact, 6. It says, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is ultimately, as the scripture says here, when we go into the book of 2nd Esdras, 16th chapter, and the 37th verse. And it reads, Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right? And famine is one of those plagues. It says, Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Right? So when we go, matter of fact, I want to grab this precept really quick just to show. Here we go. There's 2nd Esdras 15 and right here. There's 2nd Esdras 15 and 10. It says, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And we understand America, Babylon the Great, is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And as the Lord brought forth famine in the time of the ancient Egyptians, he's bringing famine again in the time of Esau, being, how you saying, parabolically or spiritually seen as the Egyptians, man, right? So when we go back to this article here, and it speaks about many U.S. farmers are warning they're at a breaking point. Ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shai is bringing forth that scourge, that birth pain of the famine, to essentially cause a besiegement, on Babylon the Great. Ultimately, he's using Esau, Edom, in order to disrupt and to, disrupt this food supply chain, man, right? It's not that there's going to be a full, lack of food, but it's going to be a lack of those able to get that food, man, right? Because the elites will still be eating, due to them, storing up or having storehouses. Preppers have been, prepping for however many years, but it's going to be distresses due to the lack of bread, right? And people having access to that, right? When your grocery stores are unable to have forth your 3 days of food, when the trucking industry, and that's another article, the brother Shapal Salakian, the brother Shapal sent forth a article to us basically saying how the fueling trucking industry is failing, man. And this is it was particularly for California, but that everybody statewide is feeling it as well, right? So it says many U.S. farmers are warning they're at their breaking point. So I want to play this video. Lord will, some of it play. I don't know. I don't want you to take it down, but I'll allow the closed captions to play, I guess. And this is fair use, man. For educational purposes. Well, what do you say? Whenever there's a farm crisis, there's a banking crisis. Because Esau is simultaneously crashing everything, man. Right? We understand this is all engineered to usher in what? The new system, the technocracy, in which everything will be digitalized upon one system, and that's worldwide, hence New World Order, Novus Ordo Seclorum, right? It says many farmers in the Delta are pleading for financial help from the government, which isn't about to come, as the scripture says, there's no balm for her pain, this is part of that plague or that sore, that's being lifted. As the scripture say, her skirts have been lifted. Ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shai is exposing this place, right? And all the nations are looking at the news of America, right? And it's not just America, because even with the war in Ukraine is seen as the breadbasket of the earth, supplying the world with over, I believe, 40% of the world's grain, man, right? It says many farmers in the Delta are pleading for financial help from the government, warning that low prices, high costs, and tariffs could push many into bankruptcy. Where's the rest of the article? Guess I just gotta play it. Nevertheless, I'm about to bring out some more precepts. Matter of fact, coming from the book of 1 Kings, the barn floor, man, right? It's 2 Kings 6. Matter of fact, before I go here, I want to go into the book of Ezekiel. Barley. Right? Because Jake specifically had crops of grain. Right? So when we go here to the book of Ezekiel, and it speaks about the famine in which Jake was in then, right? There's Ezekiel 4, and I'll start here at the 7th verse, and it reads, Therefore thou shalt set thy face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and thine arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it. So much like in the plagues of Egypt, Yahweh Shema Shai sent 10 plagues, which all affected, the Egyptians in their economic system, right? In one way or another, man. Whether it was by killing off the cattle, and certain livestock, whether it was by sending forth locusts, to eat up the crops, diverse kinds of flies, the water being turned into blood, that hurt the fishing industry, right? Much like how the scripture speaks about how the Nile shall be dried up here, right? And it's speaking about the Mississippi River. Well, that's another way in which Yahweh Shema Shai has plagued this place, man, by lowering these water levels to where the commerce through shipping has been ruined, right? So as he did it in Egypt, he's doing it again here, right? Boils, darkness. In these ways, men were unable to work, and a lot died due to what? Apparitions, newly created creatures, which is going to be in the times that we're coming into, right? He's cutting off work from Egypt, man, and he's setting forth division. In the midst of that, he's doing what? He's taking your food away. The Lord is orchestrating all of this, and it's clear that this is the end, man. The days are going by even faster than ever, and the scriptures clearly tell us that what? The Most High is going to speed up the days for what? For His elect's sake. So, hey, we're nighing the end, man. If you can't see it, hey, then hey, it sucks for you, man. But the men of Yahweh Shema Shai are out there on the highways and hedges to warn you of these things regardless, right? Ezekiel 4, continuing 8, says, And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to another, till thou hast ended the days of thy siege. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils, and these are all grains, and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, right? Because there was a famine due to a besiegement, right? And you could only take the grains. You had to combine the grains of all of these different, or it's like you had to combine, a bowl of food with all these grains in order to get a whole loaf, because there wasn't a whole loaf to be created of just wheat or just barley or just lentils, right? It all had to be combined to make a composition of one, right? So these were all fractions of what was left. It says, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. And thy meat, which thou shalt eat, shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat. So speaking of rationing, right? Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of men, right? And we understand it wasn't ultimately men dung, but cow dung that it was made from. But nevertheless, a time of rationing is upon this place, man. And you know, as that rationing is going on, people are going to be destroying each other's houses and destroying their neighbors for the lack of bread, as the scripture says in the book of 2nd Esdras. So we can grab that as well. There's 2nd Esdras 15. And I'll start here at 16, right? Because we understand through this division, and ultimately Yahweh Shemel Shai is setting forth all these chess pieces just so everything can have a domino effect, right? So it's not just like famine is going to hit and everything else is going to be calm and peaceful. No, famine is going to hit. Pestilence is going to be there as well. Then you're going to have a division amongst social class, a verse left and right, a verse so-called black and white, right? Against white and white, against black and black, right? Against Jake and Jake, against Esau and Esau, right? All the nations are feeling it as well, though. You know, it's not just a United States thing, right? Here it is in a country like Japan, where it's far more technologically based, or a country like Sweden, who is completely done away with cash, right? They're going to feel it as well, man. The whole earth has to feel the plagues, man. Has to feel those birth pains. Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to be creating chaos worldwide, right? It says, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, right? And it says, and men shall be afraid. So how much more women and children, right? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So there it is, showing you the effects of this famine that's coming, man. And there's nothing you can do to turn away these plagues, man. Because ultimately it's being brought from Yahweh Shemel Shai above. And we read that in the book of Ezekiel 4. Now, I want to grab this in the book of 1 Kings 6. So like it. Right, this is 2 Kings 6, like I said, 1 Kings 6. In 25, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord doth not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king saith unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So it got to the point where crops and regular food was unavailable. So people started looking to eat their children, which it may sound far-fetched today in a society where you still have running water, where people are still gaming online, you know, where it doesn't seem as hectic. People are crashing out, but they can still go to McDonald's and eat a kid's meal, right? They can still go to, you know, the taco man, right? But what happens when all of that is unavailable? Due to restrictions, due to the fact that martial law troops are going to be in your streets, and due to the fact that he is going to limit, you know, the ability for people to go out to these stores and actually get what they need, man, right? Or when going to the store, you know, is ultimately going to be a graveyard, right? Because even when all hell breaks loose and people are going into these stores to grab products out, you're going to have individuals outside those grocery stores waiting for people with baskets so that they could rob them and so that they could end their life, man. They show you in these movies all the time. See, but you're only watching it from an entertainment purpose. No, this is going to be a reality. People are going to be preyed upon, coming out of these grocery stores. See, America isn't even at the point yet where people are just running out the store full of with baskets full yet. That's not even a large occurrence at the moment, man. You may hear 1 or 2 cases of an N-dub telling her kids to steal from this store, but it won't be a grocery store. It'll be like a clothes store, or so they can get back to school clothes or something like that. But you're not seeing masses of individuals run out of these stores with a basket full of food. And when it starts to happen, it's not going to stop. They cutting SNAP benefits, right? So your food stamps are being, what you can buy on your food stamps are being categorized. No longer are you able to get your junk foods, right? But even in that, he is cutting the amount of money that people are getting on their cards as well. Right? So it's being set up perfectly for a famine, man. If you can't see it, so be it. Right? Going back to 2 Kings 6 and 30. It's like at 29. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her, on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. Right? So cannibalism. When people can't eat, they lose it. And who are they going to be looking for, or who are they going to look towards for the next source of their meal? The individuals within their house. Watch the movie The Road, man. They had a basement full of people that they were just cutting pieces off to keep the meat fresh. Because they were eating people, man. Yeah, it sounds far-fetched. Oh, man, I can't never see America get to the state where people start eating each other. Hey, well, you obviously don't have the vision. You don't have the testimony. The testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, and the scriptures clearly tell you that famine is going to come back. And that pestilence and that cannibalism is going to be rampant, man. The government has already conditioned you to liking the taste of flesh. You eating at these certain fast food places. So how much more when you have nothing to eat? When the food in your refrigerator spoils? When your canned goods expired? Right? That's even if you have canned goods. Right? When your deep freezers, when the food within your deep freezers has gone rancid. You gonna look towards, the N-dub is gonna look towards all those kids she got. And she gonna start picking them off one by one to feed the rest. Oh, what happened to little Kevin? Oh, he ran away. But they got they got chicken finger. Let's say chicken fingers. But they got some type of meat at their house, being prepared, man. They eating Kevin, man. That's what it's gonna boil down to. No pun intended, man. This is how the Lord is going to bring forth more evils. He's going to cut off your ability to eat. And here in America, you people eat every day, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Snacks not included. So the Farmageddon is among you. Farmers are at their breaking point, and they have the food. They just not making the money with the food. So what happens when they don't make the money with the food? Trucks aren't coming in to bring it towards you. So you starve. It's only a matter of time, man. Yahweh Shai used famine as a tool, to destroy Jake time and time again. But now he's going to use it as a tool to destroy Babylon the Great, man. Right? So that's the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the body. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah HaKodash. And double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to Yahweh, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.